Ignit3 Finishers. Week 1, we have a 2-minute density set. Bicycles for 5 reps each. Gracie crunches for 5 reps. Low plank tap outs, 5 each side. And then prone Y to W's for 5. So we're going to be down on our back for the bicycles. Hands are just cupping the ears here. We're not pulling or cranking on the neck at all. Knees 90 degrees. From here, I'm going to kick one leg out as far as I can, keeping my core engaged, driving that belly button down. I'm going to cross my elbow over across, almost like I'm trying to touch my knee here, whilst driving my belly button down. Come up, switch sides. Now, as long as they can control it, they can go as fast as they want. Just make sure that they're driving that leg out. One of the key aspects of the core activation of that movement is that opposite foot. You want to really try to touch that wall. Imagine that you're going to touch your bottom of your foot to the wall that you're looking at. Next up will be Gracie crunches. So we have 3 levels for Gracie crunches. Level 1, we're going to peel our shoulder blades gently up off the floor. Chin is tucked. Arms are just crossed over the chest. From here, we're kicking the legs out, and we're pulling the knees into 90 degrees towards the chest. Out, back in. Toes are pointed away. So that lower part of the core is also engaged here, driving that belly button down the whole time. Level 2, if there's no shoulder injuries, arms go overhead, peel the shoulder blades up a little bit more, drive that belly button down, and pull the knees into the chest, heels touch the ground here. So there is no balance element here. Come back down, again into that hollow body position, heels touch the floor, repeat, and then level 3, heels won't touch, just bring the knees into the chest. Keeping that core engaged the whole time, that's most important. Immediately after they do 5 reps there, they'll go into the low plank tap outs, 5 each side. So front plank position, forearms and fists digging hard into the ground, squeeze butt, squeeze thighs, and then you're gonna reach overhead, touch, touch, 2, 2, 3, 3, try not to move the hips too much. They can bring it to the knees if there's any low back pain or the low back starts to take over during this finisher. To finish it up, 4, 4, 5, 5. And then immediately after that, to get some posterior activation, they're going to prone Y's to W's. So Superman-like position. Chest and thighs start on the ground. From here, shoelaces are dug onto the floor. I'm going to reach overhead and make the letter Y. I'm going to pull my elbows down and back, trying to press my shoulder blades into my back pockets to make the letter W. Forward, back for 5 reps. Anybody has shoulder injuries, they can maybe try coming into the Y and then going straight out, making the letter T. Or if that's also just painful for them, they can just hold it for 5 deep breaths here in this position where the hands or fists are looking right at their chin, trying to avoid touching their chest to the ground. And that way they're activating the back still, their glutes, and their upper bodies up off the floor, so they're getting the posterior shoulder activation as well. Week 2, 1 minute long. This isn't a density set, it's just for time. So it'll be side plank to the left. You want to make sure that when they go to do this, the elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. Super, super easy to have that elbow way out here. You want it below the shoulder, directly underneath it. Hands pressed hard into the ground. Legs will start stacked, but that top foot is going to fall right in front of the bottom foot. This is going to make it a lot safer on the lower back. From here, they're going to drive their hips up away from the ground. Hand can either go onto the navel, or if they choose, they can reach up, holding it for 20 seconds. Something people are going to want to do is let their head sag. Try not to have them do that. Keep them squeezing their butt. Spine is long. Low impact variation or regression to this would be just to have the knees onto the floor. They're going to send their butt forward, squeeze it, pick the hips up, and they could either hold their arm up or have their hand right at their navel. They'll switch to the right side for 20 seconds, doing that same movement, and then they'll go into a hollow body hold. So hollow body hold, hands go overhead or across their chest, whatever's easiest for them. If there's an injury or, for whatever reason, hands overhead might be a little difficult, So they can come around the chest too. Hands are overhead, peel the shoulder blades up off the ground, drive that belly button hard into the ground, point the toes away. That's the prescribed method of the hollow body hold. To make it easier, you could elevate the feet. To make it harder, you can bring them even lower. So that's the Ignite3 Finisher for week 2. And then lastly, week 3, 2-minute density. We have sumo sit-ups and then slow mountain climbers. So sumo sit-ups. You want to sit just like so. Feet are together, heels together, feet are flat while touching each other. Reaching the arms overhead, you'll lay onto your back. This allows your pelvis to move so you're not just cranking your lumbar spine. While not crunching, keeping that spine nice and long, you're pressing your hands hard into the sky, reach over the feet, touch, and then bring it back down. Touch, bring it back down. So we're touching 2 points here. People are really going to want to throw themselves naturally as they get fatigued. Just try not to advise them to do it. Maybe have, cue them to keep their back straight. That'll stop them from really just throwing themselves and swinging themselves forward. A variation for people who they don't have the core endurance for something this technical, they can come hands straight up and do a shoulder reach, either palms neutral or palms away, and do a shoulder reach up towards the sky, back down. So they're still getting that upper abdominal activation and their hips still aren't locked in. The key there is to reach as high as they can. And then after that is slow mountain climbers. So those sumo sit-ups are done for 10 reps. Slow mountain climbers, they're going to be done for 5 reps each side. High plank position, your feet are shoulder width apart, engage the core, squeeze butt, squeeze thighs, drive knee to elbow. Again, that's 5 each side. They're just going to continue as a density over and over and over until time runs out. So that's the Ignite3 Finishers. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, and I'll do the best I can to get back to you.